Luxury is a very different story, particularly so they're going to have the same types of groups. The main difference on luxury is there are a couple of things that are going to be unique. One is you're going to have you're going to have much more revenue sources than just rooms because of all the amenities. So it's not uncommon on a luxury hotel for rooms to only be maybe 70% of the total revenue and 30 or full, depending on how good the other amenities are and all this kind of stuff. But it's not uncommon to have maybe 30% of the revenue come from, really nice restaurant, strong, maybe they have a spa, or they have sometimes they have high-end shopping within the hotel, right? One of our hotels, we have pop-ups from, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and they come in, and a lot of that drives revenue to the hotel. They also have, typically other types of services that are contracted with the hotel. So you might have, for example, at Disneyland, hotels, even if they're not on property, they're not a Disney, owned hotel. All the hotels around there have, these little discounts with Disney that as you sell Disney tickets from your hotel, you get a little cut from it, and you can sell, you get a little bit better deal, and then you get a cut and all that kind of stuff. You just sell, sometimes you sell pickup services. Usually shuttles are free, but sometimes you have executive pickup services. A lot of luxury hotels will also have these really nice Cadillacs or Escalades that are available actually for drop off and pick up for a fee. And that's typically not advertised, but most luxury hotels will have that as an option. So you're going to have a lot more different types of revenue streams that are coming in. Those revenue streams vary. A good F&B outlet will do a 30%, NOI margin or EBITDA margin, a really good one. Not all of them do that. Some of them barely break even. Some of them lose money, depending on how what they use and how they source and all that kind of stuff. The other area that you're going to see really high on luxury is replacement costs for things are pretty high because of the materials you're using. So on a select service hotel, you're basically looking for, you want nice things, but you're looking for cost-effective, budget-friendly laminate and flooring and wallpaper and paint and things like that. On luxury, you might have a chandelier that costs, 45 grand. And if that thing breaks or gets chipped or something like that, you got to replace that. Or, inside the bathrooms, you're having additional components. You have separate bathrooms and with more glass and tile, and as those things chip or break or they're grout, you have to replace those, and so those are going to be higher end materials. But then the big cost for luxury is going to be the labor costs. So labor costs are going to be much higher. I mean, on an order of magnitude, maybe 2 to 3 times higher as a percentage of revenue than on a select service hotel, because on a 200 room hotel, you might have 100 staff, right? 150 staff. Now, maybe not all full time, but a significant portion of that will be full time, and so you're going to have just a lot of higher carrying costs. Then there's some other, insurance costs are typically higher because you're insuring, higher value and all that kind of stuff that don't necessarily relate to the revenue, that are, don't scale linearly or 1-for-1 with revenue. And so but the big difference between luxury and some is you're going to have multiple revenue streams that outside of just rooms through the amenities, and then you're going to have a lot more costs for the staff. It's going to be much higher staff, and they're typically going to be in areas where they command a higher rate, right? In Park City, Utah, for example, you can't find any locals who are going to who you can pay $15 an hour to work at as even any hourly entry level job. You're paying $25, $30, $35 an hour, or you're paying for the employees and their housing. That's another common thing. When you're in resort locations, you'll buy, we've done this, you literally will buy an apartment building or invest with someone else in an apartment building, or have a corporate lease for 40 beds, in maybe 20 rooms, there's shared beds, and you will house people during it. You house your employees, offer them housing while they're working there. So those are some of the different types of things you think about on luxury, especially destination luxury. Destination luxury is going to be kind of unique in those kind of charges versus luxury in downtown New York.